we'll make a start. Right, so today, I'm going to do it predominantly sat down. You'll need your resistance bands. I'm going to do predominantly upper body stuff. I might throw in a little bit of legs, and I might do a little bit of balance, depending on how we get on for time. Remember, wave at me vigorously if you need to get my attention because we've lost audio or you can't hear me or whatever's going on. All right? I've put my pink socks on, so hopefully you can see my feet. But you couldn't see my feet when I had my shoes on. Hang on a minute, hang on. Right, we'll make it work. So let's do a little bit of posture just to start off with, just to get that muscle memory going. So try and find your sit bones, those bony bits. If you need to just pull your flesh out just a little bit, that sometimes helps. And then try and balance on those sit bones. Remember, we're not leaning too far forward. We're not leaning too far back. We're not leaning back on our chairs as well. Both feet flat on the floor. And then from the base of your spine, stretching that spine upwards, and imagine each vertebra is stacked perfectly one on top of the other. And that piece of string is pulling you up nice and tall. Then lift the shoulders up, roll them back, and then just let them drop. So you feel the shoulders just being pulled back just slightly. And then you can slump again, so everything goes soft in the middle, our normal seated position if you like. So again, from our sit bones, from our coccyx, all the way up our spine, all the way up through the neck, through the top of the head, feel yourself grow and expand. Try and imagine the space in between each vertebra. And then shoulders up, roll your shoulders back and down. Just hold that position. Think about how it feels. Think about how it feels through the rib cage and in the lower back and in your tummy. And then relax there. Hang on a second. Just got to let Corinne in. I think she's there. Right, okay, cool. All right, so you're still sat on your bony bits. Still sitting up nice and tall, and we're marching on the spot. Oh, let me get my arms and legs the right way around. There we go. Marching on the spot. So nice and light on those toes. We'll start off with a kind of walking pace. Nice and easy. We'll get going. We'll get our heart rate up. I know for some of you, you might not have been awake for very long. This might be a bit of a shock to the system. I know for at least one of you, you might have been up for a very long time, and you're probably feeling a bit tired. And you're thinking, oh, I wish I'd not done this and I want to go to bed. All right, Andrea, by the way, in Fiji. Okay, reaching out to the front, stretching out those arms. Just nice and easy, nice and rhythmical. And remember, at any point today, if you're not feeling 100%, something hurts, please stop, take a breath, relax, chill out. You're in your own homes, so you don't need to compete with anybody. Just take your time and go at your own pace. Marvellous. Back to normal marching. Can you manage opposite arm and legs? Then you're looking down just to see what's going on. Right, hands and shoulders as we stretch up. Beautiful, lovely. And we're stretching forwards. Oh, I like doing them, the exercises in here. We've got loads of room. Just hope no one comes in or is watching through the window. And we're stretching up. And we've got security cameras everywhere, so they're probably watching thinking, what's she doing? Reaching forwards. I'm reaching up. And forwards. And up. And forwards. And marching. Right, hands up. Give those hands a shake. And then up and down to nice loose wrists. And twisting. And fingers in and out. Keep those feet moving. Marching on the spot. So a little bit more purposeful with your arms. Making sure those elbows are going behind you. A little bit more of an aggression, if you like, through your arms and shoulders. Okay, legs this time. I'm going to step forwards. I'm just going to go at a little quirky angle. So you can see me extending my legs. I'm going to be dabbing my heels down. And again, if you can manage those opposite arm and leg, fabulous. It's a beautiful, sunny, crisp morning. Hopefully it'll stay that way. Get your jobs done. You need to get your shopping done. Take advantage. Right, so those legs still going forwards and backwards. Your arms, we're going to stretch a little bit more now. So a little bit more rotation through those shoulders. If you are managing opposite arm and leg, you'll get that twist through the midriff and through the lower back and through the rib cage. So that's all good. So keeping those feet going forwards and backwards, but this time we're going to lead with the toes. So you want to try and dab those toes down. So you're getting a little bit more of a stretch through the lower part of the leg, through the front of the shin and ankle. Still reaching forwards with your arms. We're going to go back to heels and toes and heels and toes. And back to normal marching. We doing all right? Can't see anyone looking particularly unhappy, which is a good sign, although it's early days. Here we go with our side steps. So dabbing those toes down. Bring your arms into it. Are you still sat up nice and tall? Are you still on those sit bones? Or have you allowed yourself just to droop forward just a little bit? Just have a little think, that muscle memory we talked about at the start. Okay, so keeping those legs going side to side, but your arms are going to stretch up and forwards and up and forwards and up and forwards. And guess what? We're going to go up again. And no surprises, going forwards. Still going forwards. Still going forwards. You feeling that heart rate creeping up? I hope so. Back to curls. Funky chickens. So no higher than your own shoulders. Keeping that bend in the arms as you bring those elbows up. Back to curls. Back to chickens. And curls. And chickens. And curls. And chickens. And curls. Fabulous. Sticking with curls. Sticking with curls. And back to marching. Oh, this feels good, doesn't it? This feels good. Good way to start the weekend. If you're going to have a little tipple tonight, maybe treat yourself over the weekend, obviously socially distanced or at home, or get a takeaway from your local restaurants because we can't go out anymore. Boo hiss. Right, we're going to slow it down, but we're going to lift our knees up higher. So slowing it down. Bringing up those knees higher than you would normally do. So you start to use those hips and thighs. A little bit of a crunch through the tummy area. If you can manage opposite arm and leg, that'd be amazing. Fabulous. And back to normal marching. Super. And just your heels up and down. Just your heels. Some shrugs. Just your heels going up and down, shoulders going up and down, and then roll those shoulders backwards, still bobbing those heels up and down, and you may relax just there. So, sitting up nice and tall, one arm on top of the other. Let's do some twists. Remember, as we twist, we're trying to get the movement from the waist. We're not just moving our elbows from side to side, because that's just weird. We want to try and stretch and loosen up through the torso, through the lower back and rib cage. Nice and steady. Lovely job. And relax there. Press up position, so hands in the front here. Bring those elbows backwards and then push all the way forwards and all the way back. All the way forwards, feel the stretch through your back. Come back to stretch through the collarbones and chest. So just nice and smooth as always, no jerky movements. We're looking to get as much range of movement through our upper body as we can. Just a couple more presses. Fabulous. And relax there. Just come back to the start position. So again, sitting up nice and tall, we're going to drop the arms down by the side. Excuse me. Remember, for this one, we're going to do some side bends, by the way. For this one, we're going to keep the bum flat on the chair. We're going to avoid the temptation for our hips to lift. We don't want that. We want both hips nice and flat on your chair. Just roll your shoulders back. Imagine your back is pressed flat against the wall. And then we're going to drop one arm down the side. Keep your bum flat. Feel the stretch to the side. Come back up and then across to the other side. And back up. Same again. So just nice and smooth. Remember, if something hurts, two options. You either stop or you just reduce the range of movement so that it suits you better. So just nice and smooth, one side to the other. We are going to increase this stretch in a moment. If you want to, as you go across, you're going to come up with your other hand, touch your temple. I'm just going to hold that position. So now you're getting a deeper stretch all the way through the side of the body with your arm raised. I'm going to come back up. I'm going to do the same over across to the other side. And again, across to the other side. Just get a nice stretch. And then across to the other side. Fabulous. And coming back up. Okay, a little bit with our legs. So first of all, we're going to do some kicks, forwards and backwards. So just nice and easy. I don't need you to go too vigorous for this one. I just want you to get that movement through the knee joint. Feel these thigh muscles come into play. Feel your hips start to activate as you're keeping that leg raised. Just the ankle now is forwards and backwards, flexing those toes up and down. The movement is from the ankle. It's not from the knee or the hip. And then we're going to go side to side. Again, from the ankle, we're not rotating the whole leg. And then a circle in one direction and circles in the other direction. And relax there. Your other leg, same again. Kicking forwards and backwards, just getting that synovial fluid in the knee joint activated. Beautiful, lovely. Now just the ankle up and down. And side to side. Imagine your foot is like a windscreen wiper. And a circle, as big a range of movement as you can through the ankle joint. And circles back in the other direction. Marvellous. Back to the centre. A little bit for our hips. So a leg, I'm going to start off with this one. I'm going to lift up, out, down and in. Same leg. Up, out, down and in. And again, up, out, down and in. One more. Fabulous. Other leg. Up, out, down and in. You've got it. You know the routine. Trying to make it nice and smooth. Nice and circular. Just one more on this side. Smash in. Onto the other leg. We'll go in the opposite direction. Slide, lift, in and down. Slide, lift, in and down. And again, getting that circular movement. One more on this side. Back to the start. And now the other leg. Slide, lift, in and down. Slide, lift, in and down. You've got it. That's it. Nice and circular. One more for luck. Always one more for luck. And relax there. Sitting up nice and tall. Imagine you've got a ball. You're going to pick that ball overhead. And you're going to throw that ball with vim and vigor towards me. Just want to get a little bit of movement through those elbows. And through the backs of your upper arm. And just kicking up that heart rate a little bit. Come on. A little bit quicker. A little bit quicker. Fabulous. And relax there. Speaking of heart rate. Hands up. Not done this for a little while. Ready? Punches. Forwards. Go. Nice and quick. Nice and quick. Come on. I want to get that heart rate up. Get that blood pumping through your body. Make you breathe a little bit harder. Set you up for the rest of the day. And steady there. Legs. If you stood up, you might want to sit down because we're sprinting. Come on. Quick feet. Come on, come on, come on. Imagine you're an Olympic sprinter. If you stood up, you're probably making a heck of a racket now and your neighbours are thinking, what's going on? And steady there, hands up, punch in, go. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Just straight punches and not asking for anything fancy. And steady there, last one with the legs, go. Come on, 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 come on. Faster, nice and light on those toes. And then slowing it down. Slowing it down. And relax there. Hopefully, it's got you a little bit puffed. Hopefully, it's got you a little bit puffed. All right? Let me just double check everyone's all right. Sheila's just casually having a cup of tea. I think it's tea anyway. It could be anything with Sheila, couldn't it? Right then. Grab your resistance band. So what we're going to do with the resistance band today is nothing too fancy. I didn't want to do anything too fancy because, as I say, I wasn't too sure of the setup I've got here. I didn't want to overcomplicate the exercises if I wasn't able to do them here, or we lost the sound or the internet, whatever it is. So nothing fancy today. Take your band. We're going to start off with our back. We're going to drop the band around our around our feet. Our feet are extended ever so slightly. I'm just going to turn at a slightly quirky angle so you can just see a little bit. I've got a little bit of a bend in the knee there. My heels are on the ground. My toes are lifted. I've got my toes flat on the ground. There's a danger of the band slipping from underneath my feet. So that's why we've got heels down, toes up. We're going to sit up. Remember that muscle memory for the posture we talked about at the very start. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Hands are somewhere near our kneecaps. And we're going to pull that band towards our hips. Our elbows go backwards. We squeeze our shoulder blades. And then nice and controlled, the hands come forward. So just nice and smooth. You've probably done this many, many times with me. So I just want you to concentrate on your technique. Just making sure everything's bob on. Think about your posture. And think about really giving those shoulder blades a good squeeze when you pull back. If you want to make it harder, by all means, I'm going to leave it up to you. They're your back muscles, they're your arms. If you want to make it harder, just shimmy your hands a little bit further towards your feet along the band. If you want to make it easier, you take the tension off the band and move your hands towards the end of the band. Entirely up to you. Pull and squeeze. You're all big enough and ugly enough to know how you're feeling today and how much exertion you want to put into these exercises. But they're the key points. Think about your posture. Think about the squeeze, and just think about how hard you want to make this exercise today. Fabulous. Just one more for me, and then just take a moment once you've done that final one. If you want to, you can give your shoulders a little bit of a shake. So we'll have the twist. So this is the one where we pull with one arm, and we turn towards the arm that we're pulling, and we're trying to twist from the waist, and then we come back to the center. And then we pull with the other arm and turn in that direction. So as we twist, we're trying to get that movement from the lower back, the waist, and the lower part of the ribs. So we're just using those core muscles just a little bit. Getting that elbow going behind you as much as you can. And that lovely rotation. Still thinking about your postures. Still thinking about sitting up nice and tall, even though you've got that rotation going on. I want you to do one more on each side for me, please. And then when you've done that, just come back to the center and just relax there. Keep the band underneath both feet. I want you to put both feet flat on the floor. So for the next one, for our shoulders, I want you to make sure you've got some space either side. We're going to start off for this one, holding the ends of your band. Try and sit forward on your chair if you can, because I want your arms to be down by your sides. So you've got this slack here. Don't worry, we'll get rid of that in a moment. We're going to sit up nice and tall, and we're just going to roll our shoulders backwards. So side arm raises. Your back of your fist is going to stay pointing up towards the ceiling as you raise both arms out to the side. No higher than your own shoulders, and then nice and controlled back down. Don't let the band pull you down. So we're going to raise, no higher than your own shoulders, and back down. What we're looking for is when you bring that arm out to the side, it stays level with your side body. You're not bringing it out at a funny angle here. You want to bring it right out to the side so it's level with your own shoulder, level with the side of your body. How are we doing with that? So as always with this one, once you've done a couple, if you think, oh, that's enough for me, you know, that's plenty hard enough, then that's absolutely fine. If you do want a little bit more tension, you want to work those shoulders just a little bit more, just move your hands a little bit down your band, reset your posture and your shoulder position, and then go again. So what we're looking for is for these exercises to be challenging, but not impossible. And they certainly shouldn't be easy. You shouldn't be going, yeah, this is dead easy, I'll be flapping away like a bird on a gentle breeze. You should be thinking, no, I can feel that, I can do it, but I can feel exactly where in those shoulders it's working. Marvellous. I want you to relax there and give your shoulders a bit of a shake. If you have adjusted your hands, I want you to go back towards the ends of your band. Okay, so this time, we're going to do one arm at a time, but we're trying to go a little bit higher each time until you find your limit. Now, your limit might be here. That is absolutely fine. If that's where you're feeling that effort on those shoulders, perfect. You do that. I want you to feel the effort on your shoulders. If you can get your arm higher than shoulder level, then try that. But we're going to build it up. So just starting off, just nice and slowly. And then each time you raise, go a little bit further, just a couple of inches further to find your limit. Do you know what? You might surprise yourself. You might be able to go further than you think. But remember, not painful. So there shouldn't be any sharp pain sensations. I know shoulders can be a bit delicate. I know some shoulders aren't too good. So go with where you feel comfortable. And if you can get your arm high, perfect. But go with where you can. I want you to do one more on this side, and then we're going to change arms. And then you'll understand which is your good arm and which is your not so good arm or good shoulder. Just give those shoulders a bit of a shake. So exactly the same on the other side. Just bear in mind, if one shoulder isn't as good as the other, you might not be symmetrical. It might not be identical, and that's fine. So just building it up, thinking of your technique, thinking of your posture, going a little bit further each time. And remember, challenging but not impossible, and certainly not painful. And we're just looking for a nice, slow, steady speed and rhythm. And you're in control of the band at all times. The band is not taking over you. Marvellous. I just want you to do one more on this side, and then you can relax. And we'll give these shoulders a bit of a rest. Give those shoulders a bit of a shake when you've finished your last one. Step off your band. So onto our old favourite, the chest press. So you're going to take your band, toss it around your head, cross your back, underneath your armpits, so around the back here. Again, just a quick check, a little mental check of how your posture's feeling. Are you sat up nice and tall? You're still on those bony bits. Again, you've done this exercise with me many times before, so we can afford to think about other things other than just moving your arms forwards and backwards for this one. We can think about our posture as we push those arms out and back in. So this is the chest press. There's exactly what it says on the tin, concentrating on the chest. There's also some effort through the front of the shoulders and through the back of the upper arm, through the tricep area. Once you've done 2 or 3, adjust the band. Either make it harder by bringing your hands closer to the body, or you can make it a little bit easier by moving your hands further away, depending on how you're feeling. But pushing those arms out, hold it for half a second, and then bring it back in. And when you're pushing out and you're holding it, that's when you should be feeling the contraction through the back of the arm. Pushing away, hold it for that half a second, and back. Remember, it's just your arms that are moving. Your body shouldn't be going forwards and backwards. You're not on a rowing boat. Just those arms pushing forwards. Nice and controlled coming back. Okay, just one more for me. Fabulous. And just relax there. So staying where you are. This time we'll add the second level of change, if you like, which is the one-armed version. So we push out with one arm, and with that one arm, we can rotate, we can lean into it and come back. So we push forward and we rotate, we lean that front shoulder into it. We're not going across the body for this one. We're not going across here. We're going straight forwards, like you're going to punch someone who's stood in front of you, and extending that shoulder with a little bit of a twist through the waist. So yes, still a variation of the chest press, but now we're just adding a little bit more through the core muscles, through the rib cage and through the lower back by adding that twist. One more on each side for me, please. And relax there, and just give those shoulders a shake. So our final variation with this, again, just to make it a little bit harder, and again, rest if you need to rest. We're going to do the holding part, where we push our arms out and we hold, and then they get you to do various little jiggles, with your arms that is, not like just dancing around. Posture, so sitting up nice and tall, we're going to push both arms out to the front, hold that position, all right? So the band is just a flimsy bit of rubber. Do not let it defeat you. And just paddle those fists up and down. So we're keeping our arms nice and straight. And just a couple of inches up and down. So there's tension on the band, tension through those muscles, but your muscles are stronger than this resistance band. And you are stronger than this resistance band. It's not going to defeat you. Steady there. Keep pushing against the band. Fists in and out. So we're looking about 6 inches in and out. Nice and smooth, don't rush it. And steady there. Keep pushing against the band, making circles. Keeping those arms nice and straight as you make circles in one direction. And circles in the other direction. And hopefully those muscles are talking to you right now. Just letting you know they're there. Steady there, in and out, up and down, in and out, keep that posture, up and down, stop, keep pushing against that band, and relax. Give those shoulders a shake, push out, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, circles. Circles in the other direction. Circles in the other direction. Nice and slow, nice and steady, nice and controlled. And in the other direction. And stop. Keep pushing against the band. Don't hold your breath. Think about your posture. And relax there. And give those shoulders a shake. You're welcome, by the way. I know you enjoy that one. Take that band from around your back. And just pop it to one side. We will come back to the band momentarily. So I'm going to give your arms a little bit of a rest, you'd be pleased to know. All right, everyone okay? Have a slurp of your water if you've got your cup of tea, Sheila, if you've got that with you. Have a little slurp. So we're going to do some sit to stands, just to kind of break it up a little bit, like as I say, just to give your arms a little bit of a rest after those 3 upper body exercises so far with the additional variations. So some sit to stands. I will give you some options, and remember, go with where you feel comfortable. Right, so firstly, as always, perch on the edge of your chair. So try and get quite as far forward as you can before you fall off. Both feet flat on the floor. You've got some separation between your knees and also between your feet. So we're looking at about hips width apart. And then we're going to slide the feet back as much as you can. So we're just going to start off nice and easy, where we're going to lift the bum off the chair a couple of inches. I say again, a couple of inches to start off with. You can either put your hands on the chair for a little bit of a boost, or the arms of the chair. If you've got arms, you can put your hands on your knees. Or if you want to go straight to it, you can put your hands across the front of your body if you want to. And at any time, you can adjust your hands depending on how you're feeling. You might start off here, but you might finish here. All right? Sitting up nice and tall, remember, just a couple of inches. We're going to lean forward so our body weight comes over our feet, and then we're going to press, lift that bum an inch or two, and then nice and controlled, coming back down. Remember, when we do this, we're trying to keep our back straight. Even when we do that lean, my back is straight. I'm not rounding my back here. Keeping my back nice and straight. Forgot to mention that, apologies. So sitting up nice and tall, we're going to lean and lift and lower. That leaning forward, generating momentum, so lean and lift and lower. Lean and lift and lower. One more for luck. Lean and lift and lower. Smashing. Okay, just relax there. Give your legs a little bit of a shake if you want to. So we're going to go the whole hog. We're going to stand up the whole way. I'm conscious. Let me just wait there. Don't do anything. Oh, no, you do see my head. I thought you might not see my head, which not necessarily a bad thing, but you can see my head when I stand up. So we're going to stand up the whole way. Remember, for this one, the best way of getting up when you haven't got much support is to think about your hips. So as soon as you feel your hips come off the chair, thrust those hips forward to drive yourself up. So hips go forwards, your head is going upwards, your head's not going forward, your head is going up. Hips go forwards. All right, we don't want things going forwards because that's when you fall over, which is bad. Right, are we ready? So, starting positions, or here, sitting up nice and tall, lean, lift, drive up, nice and tall, nice and tall. Wait for it, wait for it. So as you bend your knees, your hips go backwards, the chair will be there. You shouldn't need to turn around and check the chair is there. If your hips are going backwards, the chair will be there. Here we go. So lean, press, drive up, come back, bend the knees, nice and controlled. Don't just flop down onto the chair. And again, lean, press, lift, drive, nice and controlled, hips back. Keep those knees apart. Don't let those knees collapse inwards. And again, lean, press, drive. Hips back, knees bent, rah, rah, rah. And just take a moment. Everyone okay? Good. Probably the single best exercise that you can do. If you're not able to get out much at the moment, I know the weather's on the turn, isn't it? If you can do some sit to stands, it just recruits so many muscles in your body. It's probably the single best exercise that you can do. So if you can manage to eke them into your daily routine, whether you have I don't know, you're reading the paper at the breakfast table and you do 10 sit to stands before you get up and go and put the kettle on. Do it. All right. So I'm going to make it a little bit harder if you want to. So we're going to do a variation on the sit to stand. It's the squat. But if you want to turn it into the sit to stand, please do. All right. So what I want you to do, please, positions, your start positions. I want you to lean, press, and stand. Okay, so from here, your options are you can either sit down the whole way and stand up the whole way. Option number 2, we can turn it into a squat, and you're going to try and get your bum as close to your chair as you can without your bum actually touching the chair. So there's your 2 options. Sit down the whole way or don't sit down the whole way. I'm just going to come round here. So your options, wait for it, you can either do the sit to stand like we've just done, or you can bend your knees, your bum can go backwards, you can almost touch the chair, and then you can come back up. Keep that back straight though, okay? Are you ready? I'm going to stand over here so you can see me. Right, so standing up nice and tall, knees bent, bum back. How low can you go? And then standing back up. If you're doing the usual sit to stand, join us, all right? Just go at your own pace, whatever version you're doing. Bend the knees, bum goes backwards, and then drive up. Knees bent, bum back, push forwards. Just have a little check of your knees, make sure your knees aren't collapsing inwards. Knees bent, bum back, push those hips forwards. Knees bent, bum back, push forwards. Are you still staying nice and low to that chair if you're doing the squat version? Are you getting your bum nice and close to that chair before you come back up? Guess what? We're going to do 2 more for me. 2 more. I want you to finish at the standing position once you've done your 2. So once you've done your 2, finish nice and tall. Everyone stood up? If you're not stood up, don't worry. You might just be taking a breather. Okay, last little bit. We're going to lower, but not the whole way, and then we're going to hold it. You ready? So knees bent, bum back, go as low as you can, and then hold that position. Keep the back straight. So this is our Middle Eastern toilet hold, isn't it? Or if you're in Paris. Hold that position. Keep that bum nice and low. Your thighs will start to talk to you. That's fine. That's what they do. Hold that position. Stay low. Stay low. Stand up. Nice and tall. Whew. Nice and controlled. Sit all the way back down. Nice and controlled. Sit down. And take a breath. Everyone okay? Not thinking about your shoulders now, are you? You will be in a minute. Right. How are we doing for time? Okay, so you'll need your band. You'll need your band. So we're going to take it long. We're not folding it over just yet. We will fold the band in a moment. So keep your band nice and long and lay it across your lap. Palms down. And then pick up your band. I want your hands to be a good 2 foot apart. 24 inches. 60 centimetres. If you're metric. Arms out. So we're straightening our arms. Just try to pull back on your shoulders slightly. So when we do this exercise, it's tempting for our shoulders to go forwards. And you see I've got a little bit of a round in my back. What I want to do is just pull back on my shoulders. My arms are still straight. I've done what's called retracting your shoulder blades. We're sitting up nice and tall. We're going to pull that band apart, keep those arms straight, and then nice and controlled, bring it back together. So arms are straight throughout this exercise. We're not bending our elbows. Our arms stay straight as we pull back, and then nice and controlled, bringing it back in. When you pull back, squeeze those shoulder blades together. And we're keeping our hands about level with our chest. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Nice and controlled. Marvellous. Just one more for me, please. And relax there. You can bring your arms down and give your shoulders a shake. Okay, some more variations on the pull apart. This time you're going to take your band and fold it in half. Lay it across your lap. This time, palms upwards. Scoop up your band. This time your hands are 10 to 12 inches apart. What's that? 20 to 30 centimetres-ish. Palms up. You've got your elbows tucked in. We're sitting up nice and tall. We're thinking about our posture. So 2 parts for this exercise. Part 1, arms out. We're going to pull apart and back in, nice and controlled. So arms out. We're pulling apart. It's not a big movement. And then we're bringing it back in. So you might just be moving that band a couple of inches. But those few inches, I'm sure you're feeling that through the arms and through your shoulders. And again, we're looking for control. We're looking for symmetry. We're looking for both sides of your body to do the same effort. Because it is tempting with these exercises just to do your good side, where we want both sides to improve and to get better. So try and be symmetrical. It's easy for me because I can see myself, and beyond the camera, I've got a massive, great big mirror as well. Fabulous. I just want you to relax there. There probably is a bit of fatigue setting in into that upper body, into those shoulders. Just give your shoulders a bit of a shake. So part 2 of that exercise is where we draw the band in towards our belly button, and towards our tummy, and our elbows are going backwards. Our elbows are passing beyond our body and going behind us. And we're squeezing our shoulder blades together, and we're trying not to hold our breath. Lots to think about with this one. So arms out, let me go at a quirky angle. So arms out, we're sitting up nice and tall. We're pulling that band apart. We've created tension on the band. We're going to keep that tension on the band as we slide our arms backwards. Band comes in towards the tummy, and we squeeze our shoulder blades. And then we relax. Arms out, pull apart, pull in and squeeze. And relax. Arms out, pull apart and squeeze as you come back. Relax. Arms out, pull apart and pull in. Give them a good squeeze. Relax. Arms out, pull apart and pull in. Relax. And again, arms out, pull apart and pull in. Just going to do 2 more. Relax. Arms out, pull apart and in. Don't hold your breath. Relax. Last one. Arms out, pull apart and pull in. Really squeeze those shoulder blades for this last one. Keep squeezing. And relax there. Give your shoulders a bit of a shake. Be all right. Yeah, a bit of an overload on the upper body, but you seem to be coping all right. So I'm going to continue. You'll be pleased to know. Right. I'm going to do 1, maybe 2 more exercises. I think we've got time to squeeze them in. Unfold your band. Grab the ends. Create a loop. Drop that loop to the ground, and then put both feet onto the band. Both feet flat on the floor. Thus. And you want to be equal on both sides. Thus. So we're going to do some biceps. Biceps are those muscles on the front of your arms. When you're carrying your shopping around, they're the muscles that start to fatigue. Start off, don't worry, you can always adjust it later, but start off by holding the ends of the band. I know there's some slack there, but don't worry. Tuck your elbows in, you can just rest your hands on the top of your thighs. Think about your posture. 1 arm at a time, you're going to curl up towards your shoulder and then bring it back down. Remember, your elbow is a pivot point, so your elbows stay fixed as you bring the fist up towards your shoulder and then nice and controlled back down. Fist up towards your shoulder and back down. I know it's a simple movement. I know you've done this many times before. So just think about your posture for this one, because your arms can be kind of doing their own thing. So just make sure you are still sat on those bony bits in your bum. Make sure your spine is as tall as you can make it. Think about some sort of separation between each part of your vertebra. Your head is nice and tall. Your arms are doing what your arms need to do. Don't worry, I'm going to make this a little bit harder in a moment. Of course I am. All right, just relax there. So if you want to, please adjust your band, just your hands along your band if you want to make it a little bit harder. Remember what I said earlier on, the exercises should be challenging, but not impossible. They certainly shouldn't be too easy. Right, so you shimmy your hands down your band, tuck your elbows in, fist on top of your thighs. Both hands now at the same time are going to curl up and slowly lower, nice and slowly. Probably to the count of 5. I'm not going to count today. I'm going to let you do it. So bring it up. Just hold it for half a second. And then very slowly, just in your own time, lowering back down. So you're keeping the time under tension of your muscles in the biceps, keeping that time under tension for a little bit longer. So just making those muscles just work fractionally harder as they contract, even though you're lowering your arms down. Beautiful, lovely. Nice and slowly on the way down. The slower you do it, the harder it becomes. It becomes more challenging. Super job. Just one more for me. One more. And then nice and controlled as you lower back down. Fabulous. And relax those. Give those arms a shake. And final exercise, just check the time there. Final exercise, let's save the best till last. Sitting up nice and tall, tuck those elbows in. Both arms at the same time curl up. Hold that position. One arm, I don't mind which arm. Reach out. There's a song about that somewhere, isn't there? Bring it back in. The other arm, reach out. And back in. Both arms, reach out. Use those tummy muscles. And back in. One arm, reach out. Oh, and back in. Then the other arm, reaching out. Back in. Guess what's coming? Both arms. Hold it there. Don't hold your breath. Be strong in your core muscles and in your torso and in your ribs and in your back. Both arms in. Lower both arms down. Take a deep breath. Step off your band. And just pop your band to one side. Woo. Give your hand a shake. And now you're thinking, oh, Alison, please just do the cool down. Don't do abs, Alison. Don't do abs, please. No, all right then. I'll save abs for another day. Fingers in and out. We will go into the stretching and the cool down. Twisting your hands. So I just want you to shake out the tension that you've got in your hands from gripping that resistance band and in your forearms. Up and down, nice and loose. And fingers in and out. And twisting. And relax there. Just give your shoulders a bit of a shake. Everyone all right? Yeah? Should we do some stretches? Fabulous. Okay. I'm not going to take no for an answer. Right, so sitting up nice and tall, one hand in front of the other. Let's stretch out our upper back. So just push those hands out. You can chill out now. You can relax as you do your stretches. Relax. And then push those hands out again. If you can, push them just a little bit further, just to deepen that stretch. And please do. And relax. One more time, pushing away. And relax there. Onto our chest. So you can either put your hands onto the small of your back, or you can hold onto the side of your chair. We're going to sit up. We're going to pull back on our shoulders. And then push your chest forward. And relax. So this is a stretch for the front of the shoulders and your chest. Sitting up, shoulders back, chest out. And relax. One more time, shoulders back, chest out. And relax there. Stretching our shoulders out. So back of the shoulder this time, one arm across the front of your body. Hold onto the upper arm or near your elbow, and then just pulling in gently on that arm to get the stretch through the back of the shoulder. And relax, and then the other arm across the front of your body, onto the elbow, just gently pulling in. And easing out of that. Little twist, so take a hand, pop it on your opposite knee. Your spare hand, you can put on the small of your back or hold onto the chair. Sitting up nice and tall. So again, we're creating space through our spine. And then we're pulling ourselves around. Whichever hand is holding onto the knee, acts like a lever, just to ease ourselves around. So keep nice and tall. And then feeling that stretch, enjoying that stretch through the middle, through the ribs, through the lower back. And then coming back to the center, and we'll do the other side. So other hand onto your opposite knee, hand onto your chair or onto the lower back, sitting up tall, pulling yourself around. And then slowly coming back through to the center. Onto our legs. So any leg, as always, we're going to extend out, try and get it as straight as you can. And then point those toes up towards the ceiling. So enjoying that stretch through the lower leg. Pointing your toes forwards. Hopefully you can just about see that. I think see my pink socks. And toes back up towards the ceiling. And relax there. Keeping that leg nice and straight. Both hands onto your bent knee. Sitting up nice and tall, then gently leaning forwards until you start to feel the stretch running through the back of the thigh. I know some of you might feel it through the lower back or into the bum. Just relax now. Those legs have actually worked quite hard today doing all those squats. Take a breath out. See if you can drop just slightly lower into that stretch. And then gently pushing back up to your seated position. Same again on the other side, so extending the other leg out. Point those toes up towards the ceiling. And pointing those toes forwards. And toes back up towards the ceiling. And relax there. Both hands onto your bent knee. Sit up tall. And gently leaning forwards. Taking the weight of your upper body onto this bent knee. We don't want to put our hands on our straight knee because it's going to push the knee in the wrong direction and cause damage to the knee. That's why we put the hands on this bent knee. And we try and relax. The more you can relax, the greater the stretch will be. As you take that breath out, you might find you can go slightly deeper. And then gently pushing back up to your seated position. So a little bit for our bum, we're going to interlace our fingers around the knee. Pull up that knee as high as you can and point your toes up towards the ceiling. Just to get a bit more of a stretch through the hip area. And then slowly release. I'm going to do the same on the other side. So pulling up that knee as high as you can. Point those toes up just for a little bit of a double-edged stretch. And give that knee a good hug. And relax there, just slowly lowering that foot down. So a little bit for the lower back. Here's the health warning for the lower back. If you're a little bit worried about your back today and you don't want to do this particular stretch, you don't have to. If you are going to try the stretch, please just go with where you feel comfortable. Okay? Both feet flat on the floor, hands on your knees. We're going to sit up nice and tall. And as you lean forward, remember, you're going to try and take some weight onto your knees. So the whole of the weight's not being stressed onto the lower back. So just nice and easy, just leaning forwards. Take some strain onto the knees. Start to feel that stretch through the lower back. Go with where you feel comfortable, as always. I know it's tricky, but do try and breathe normally. And if you're feeling okay, you want to drop your hands down towards the floor or your feet, just to increase that stretch, then please do. And then you're going to put both hands back on your knees, take the strain, and then just gently push up. Use your arms to push yourself up. You're not using your back muscles. You want to use your arms. Coming up nice and tall. Just take a moment. Just make sure you're not feeling lightheaded or dizzy. Everyone okay? Okay. So just some shrugs up and down. And then roll your shoulders backwards. We're just going to finish off with our neck stretches. I'm not going to do the assisted ones, just the usual neck stretches. Just please sit up nice and tall. Remember, we're just moving the head, not moving our shoulders or our bodies or anything like that. So we're going to turn our head and eyes round and look over a shoulder. Just trying to push your chin round as far as it'll go. And then back to the center, and then looking all the way around to the other shoulder. And back to the center. Now we're going to tilt the head across to one side. So we're just letting the head fall across. We're not lifting, we're not leaning. Just the head, so you feel the stretch through the side of the neck. And back up, and then across to the other side. And back up. Gently now, lowering the chin towards the chest. So you start to feel the stretch running through the back of the neck. Base of the skull. Then slowly lifting up, looking up towards the ceiling. And back down. And finally, just rolling your head around now, nice and gently, make a circle in one direction. And then very gently back round in the other direction. And relax there. Give your hands a final shake. And give your legs a pat down. And importantly, give yourself a round of applause for today. Well done. How's everyone doing? All right?